Please rise as we honor America by singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening. Thank you for coming tonight to celebrate the accomplishments of our current National Honor Society members, as well as our new inductees. My name is Linda Gregory, and I'm proud to serve as the NHS advisor. Congratulations to the parents and families of these remarkable young people. Your unconditional love, guidance, support, and encouragement throughout the years is a big reason why your child is here tonight. Thank you to our teachers, administrators, and staff for your accommodations, contributions, and unwavering dedication to our students each and every day. Our chapter requires its members to log a minimum of 15 service hours each year. Thank you to our current members for their continued commitment to service within the school and community. You are setting a high standard of service for our future members. The NHS students put together 35 care packages for veterans that will be attending the luncheon this Friday at the American Legion Hall. Donations are being accepted to help fund this service project. For those inductees being honored tonight, you were selected based on the 4 pillars of National Honor Society: scholarship, leadership, character, and service. Each of you excel in academics, but this is only a part of the reason why you are here. You have taken an active role in making our community better. I appreciate your time commitment to help those in need. You are selfless leaders who give service to others without worrying about what you will receive in return. Paige Hobbs will now introduce our guest speaker this evening.
Our guest speaker this evening is Miss Amy Jens. Miss Jens received a Bachelor's of Art, Bachelor's of Science, and a teaching certificate from UW Green Bay. Her major was in organizational communications, and her minor was in music. She went on to earn her Master's of Science degree from Concordia University in educational leadership. She is in her 6th year at New London High School, 18 years overall. She has previously taught high school in Shawano, Kewanee, and Bondwell. Psychology, sociology, and AP psychology are the courses that she is currently teaching. Ms. Jens serves as the Social Studies Department Chair, coaches forensics, and is one of the Sources of Strength adult advisors. She enjoys attending history and psychology seminars. 8 hours during the school day just isn't enough to fulfill her love for all of these subjects. Miss Jens has 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. One of the activities she enjoys in her free time is traveling. She is currently planning a trip to Norway and Iceland this summer. Camping, kicking her family's butt in fantasy football, singing, and musical theater are her other passions. I am pleased to introduce our guest speaker this evening, Miss Amy Jens.
Thanks, Paige. Got to clear something up right off the bat. I got my butt kicked yesterday by my 13-year-old nephew, so 0.6 of a point. Not a happy camper in the fantasy thing this morning, and of course he texted me immediately because he's 13 and that's what they do. When you imagine a person that's full of wisdom, what do you see? A gray-haired matron with glasses, wrinkles, wearing unfashionable clothes and orthopedic shoes. Wait, that's awkward. Honestly, that description has always been the mental image that pops into my head when asked that question. When confronted with a situation that required a wise solution, I would look to my elders, like many of you probably do, with the assumption that their advanced standing gave them some advantage over me. I suspect that many of you have felt that same way about the idea of wisdom. It's reserved for the sage elders in our lives and can't possibly be meant to describe us. Isn't it interesting that the younger members of the audience here tonight have that in common with those of us who are a bit older? Neither of us feel as though we are the wise one in the relationship. I think that's because the prospect of being the wise one is daunting and contains a great deal of responsibility. My goal tonight is to try to convince the younger generation in the audience that wisdom is not dependent on age, but rather requires knowledge, experience, and good judgment, as the definition of wisdom states according to the Oxford Dictionary. Without knowledge, none of the National Honor Society members in our audience would be here. Knowledge of a variety of subjects and skills was one of the requirements for your induction into the National Honor Society. And I know that the level of academic achievement in this group is very high. So does having knowledge make you wise? If you are smarter than the majority of people you are acquainted with, are you also wiser? Well, Socrates, the ancient Greek philosopher and an all-around smart dude, wanted to know who was the wisest person in all of Athens. The Delphic oracle said, "You are." "That is impossible," replied Socrates, "because I am aware that I know nothing." "That," said the oracle, "is why you are the wisest person in Athens." I'm reminded every single day that I don't know anything. I learn new things from my students all the time. Some of the things I'd rather not know, but I do learn something every day. I also learn from colleagues, my own children, and the world in general. All of you do too. So perhaps having vast amounts of knowledge isn't enough to make us wise. What about experience then? Does that make one wise? Each of you have vastly different experiences, as do I. So what would make any of us wiser than the other based on experience? I'd like to share a short story with you that I think makes a key point about experience and wisdom, and it's called appropriately The Wise Teacher. Johnny was at a wedding. He saw Mr. Clark, one of his high school teachers, and Johnny said to him, "Do you remember me?" Mr. Clark answered, "Not really. Who are you?" Johnny introduced himself. "Ah, you were my student. Wow, I haven't seen you for so many years. How's your life? What are you involved in?" Johnny said, "I'm a teacher." "Well, that's wonderful," said Mr. Clark. "What inspired you to become a teacher?" "What inspired me to become a teacher was you," Johnny continued. Mr. Clark said, "Tell me, how did I inspire you to become a teacher?" Johnny said, "I saw what an impact you had on me, and I realized what an impact I could have on children and teenagers. I decided to go into education." Mr. Clark said, "So what type of impact did I have on you?" Johnny went on to say, "One day in between classes, I stole a beautiful, expensive watch from Fred, one of my classmates. It was his mother's birthday present to him. Fred showed up after lunch break telling you and the whole class that somebody had stolen his watch." Johnny continued, I remembered vividly how you addressed the class that afternoon asking that the watch be returned. I was too embarrassed to fess up and return the stolen watch. Johnny went on, you, Mr. Clark, you locked the classroom door and asked the class to line up and close our eyes. And you went from pocket to pocket. You came to my pocket and you found the watch and you gently pulled it out. You did not stop there. You continued, moving from pocket to pocket, all the way to the end of the line. And you told us that it was okay for us to open our eyes when you were done. You returned the pocket watch to Fred. On that day, you saved me. You saved my dignity. You never said anything about the incident to anyone. Not to Fred, who was happy to get back the pocket watch, not to anyone, and most surprisingly, not even to me. Johnny, with a hint of tears in his eyes, went on to say, wow, this is what a teacher is. This is what a real educator is. This is what I want to do with my life. Mr. Clark, listening attentively, says, that's amazing. Truth be told, I don't remember much of the story you just shared with me. Johnny was curious and wanting to learn, said, tell me, Mr. Clark, you really don't remember the story? When you see me and you hear my name, I'm sure you must remember the story. I stole a watch. You must remember that unique and unusual ritual of lining us up and how, not wanting to embarrass the thief, you asked everyone to close their eyes. You really don't remember that I'm the person who stole the watch? Mr. Clark said, actually, I don't remember. Why not? It's a pretty dramatic story, don't you think? Johnny said. And Mr. Clark concluded, as I moved from pocket to pocket, my eyes were closed too. So perhaps it's not the variety of experiences themselves that create wisdom, but what we do with that experience. As in the case of Mr. Clark, sometimes we just need to close our eyes, and that might make us just as wise. Finally, we come to good judgment, the third part of the definition of wisdom. Arguably the most important and most difficult of all the components of wisdom, and for the sake of timeliness, it's also the shortest section of this speech. I think the importance of good judgment and its relationship to wisdom can be summed up in a short poem by an unknown author and a proverb by William Scott Downey. First, the poem called Wisdom's Ways. If wisdom's ways you'd wisely seek, 5 things observe with care. Of whom you speak, to whom you speak, and how, and when, and where. And the proverb, the difference between a wise and foolish man is this. The former sees much, thinks much, and speaks little, but the latter speaks more than he either sees or thinks. It became clear to me in the writing of this speech that without knowledge, wisdom is unrefined. Without experience, wisdom is difficult to accept. And without good judgment, wisdom is just hot air. I congratulate all the new inductees as well as the existing members of our National Honor Society. I believe you all have wisdom to share with each person in this audience, everyone you meet here in school, and moving forward into your future. Use good judgment in sharing it, and once in a while, just close your eyes and let it come to you. Thank you.
At this time, Ms. Jens will light the wisdom candle. The 4 candles surrounding the wisdom candle represent the 4 core values of the National Honor Society. These include scholarship, leadership, character, and service. Each of us officers speaking this evening will precede their presentation and speech with the lighting of their specific candle. Will Hoover will now present on scholarship.
National Honor Society defines scholarship as a single number, 3.5. To fulfill the scholarship pillar of NHS, applicants must enter with a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or higher. All of you in front of me are here tonight because you have met this requirement. But I don't think that number comes close to the definitive answer of what it means to display scholarship. Scholarship is a lot more than the number. Scholarship is showing perseverance and a desire to continue to learn despite circumstances presented. These students being admitted to NHS tonight have gone through quite a lot in the past few years when it comes to continuing their education and their passion for it. Whether it be things like AB/hybrid learning, the demands of extracurriculars, or holding a job, or just having a bad day, students constantly have challenges to staying on top of their learning and being ready to learn. But the students in front of me come to school every single day, ready to learn, try their hardest, and put in the extra work necessary to not only succeed, but excel as a scholar, showing that these challenges, however daunting, offer little resistance in their pursuit of a good education. Scholarship is also showing curiosity and willingness to branch outside of what is easy or comfortable. The pursuit of learning arguably is the most important aspect of scholarship, as learning itself is continuing to learn. And continuous learning is often not easy, as it means going out of your comfort zone and challenging yourself. And the students in front of me have demonstrated this by signing up for classes that they may find challenging or uncomfortable, or joining organizations that will branch their horizons socially and academically. And finally, scholarship is being part of a greater community of learners who inspire each other to learn and accomplish. Although hampered in the past few years, the importance of a community of scholars working together for academic excellence and achievement is vital. And these students know this. They ask questions, they work with other students and teachers, and they surround themselves with people that will not only meet them to achieve, but push themselves beyond what they believe is academically possible to help achieve this vital aspect of scholarship. And by showing perseverance, expressing desire to continue learning, and being part of a broader and wider community of learners, our new inductees have shown commitment to learning not only for themselves, but to the people around them as well. And to our new inductees, thank you for demonstrating that scholarship is far more than a 3.5. Please welcome Paige Hobbs to present on leadership.
Leadership is a skill not mastered overnight. It is a skill developed over a lifetime. The fact that these inductees in the National Honor Society show, show this trait this early in life is encouraging. It is encouraging that in their future lives, they will make an impact with the leadership they possess. Leadership has three main principles, these being purpose, communication, and trust. Purpose means to know your objectives and intentions. When faced with all the obstacles of high school, never change your path. There will be many people trying to tell you to do the wrong thing. You will stay set on your goals and lead those around you in the right direction. In your life after high school, there will be many paths to take. None will be wrong. Choose the one you feel the most passionate about and run with it. Your leadership skills will make you stand out in this choice. It is something anyone who possesses leadership will be able to see. You will be able to lead future colleagues, friends, and family. Having a clear purpose can also be being open to improve yourself. Being a good leader means to be able to self-reflect. Think about your actions and take those into consideration for the next time and improve yourself. Communication doesn't just mean barking orders. This can also be leading by example. When tasked with a difficult goal, don't panic and show fear. That will give those around you the idea that this is what a leader does. For example, your teacher assigns 10 assignments in one night. Yes, crazy, but instead of freaking out and acting like it's the end of the world, accept it and know that your teacher is trying to better you. By doing this, you are leading by example and setting the standards for what a student should do when faced with a difficult obstacle. This is communicating through actions instead of words. With communication comes listening as well. Being a leader is nothing without the influence of others. You learn to be a leader from a leader earlier in your life. Be open to criticism and learn from this. Don't take it personally and grow more as a leader from someone who may have more experience as a leader than you. Lastly, trust is the most important part of leadership, in my opinion. Without trust in yourself and those around you, your goals as a leader will not be achieved. Your fellow peers need to trust you and your abilities in order to want to follow you as a leader. Another example, you have a test coming up and you are very nervous about it. Your teacher trusts you that you will do great on the test and you know what you are doing. You get your test back after taking it and get an A. After this test, you have more trust in yourself and your teacher. This is a good leader. When the teacher had trust in her students, it made the students have more trust in the teacher and her teaching abilities. Have trust in those around you, and they will have trust in you. Leadership is an amazing quality to have, and I'm happy to say that every member of the National Honor Society has it. Thank you. Jane Johnston will now present on character.
Most people believe that high school is a building block for adulthood, deciding what you want to study after school and where to get a career. While those things are important, I believe that high school is a building block for your character. Every day we are challenged with determining who we want to be with the choices we make. These challenges affect our involvement and our attitudes. Fortunately, at New London High School, all of our students are offered choices and opportunities to grow our character, whether that be joining a sport or club, participating and supporting our student body, or, while you're all here today, becoming a member of NHS and volunteering to help our school and give back to our community. New London High School is grateful for our students and grateful for all of you. Not only is character associated with the choices you make, it's also associated with your everyday mentality. We are faced with mental challenges in school and at home. Creating a positive outlook and optimistic personality on a daily basis reflects your character. Circling back to your decisions, you can either decide to positively or negatively react to situations you're faced with. One thing I know is true is that arriving with a positive attitude every day reflects on other people as well as yourself. Everyone here tonight has shown exceptional character in their everyday lives. The National Honor Society will allow you to shine light on your character and how you apply your good character to the community. As an NHS officer, your character is recognized and appreciated. It's important to continue to grow those qualities and become the best version of yourself. I will end my speech tonight with a simple yet very true quote by Albert Einstein. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. This quote explains how having the right attitude and outlook on experiences in your life affect your character. Congratulations to all of the new inductees into the National Honor Society. Thank you. Our final message is on service. Please welcome Evan Kettinger.
How can our community achieve its full potential? In my opinion, it takes the work of dedicated individuals who truly care about more than just themselves. They devote both their valuable time and effort for the benefit of others. Without them, our community would not be so special. Many of these individuals are present before me today as inductees of the National Honor Society. In one way or another, they have sacrificed their weekends and days off to better our school, city, and community. But today, I would like to talk a little bit more about what exactly service is and the impact it has on our community members. This past summer, I was lucky enough to have had the opportunity to volunteer as a counselor at Keller's Lake, a day camp for adults and children with special needs. Throughout the week, I played games, went fishing, and talked with many of the campers. I made a lot of new friends during my time there, one of whom stood out to me. Every day, he came to camp with a smile on his face, and when the week finally came to an end, he explained to me how much fun he had and asked if I would be there next year. It felt good to have made such an impact on his summer despite only being there for 1 week. I urge all members here today to focus not on the amount of service or the time spent volunteering, but on the quality of service. find more meaningful ways of serving our community. I hope all of you will be able to experience the same feeling that I did after completing your service. My time at Keller's Lake has also made me realize that service can be fun. It doesn't always have to be physical labor or food drives. Instead, look for and participate in unique opportunities that you are interested in. These opportunities are what is important to building meaningful connections in our community. The students before me today have exemplified their dedication to the community and its members. It is my hope that they will continue to serve their community throughout high school and into the future. I would like to challenge them, as well as the current members of the National Honor Society, to go above and beyond when serving your community, and to be creative in how you fulfill your service requirement this year. Again, I would like to congratulate the new members of the National Honor Society. Thank you.
We would like to recognize the new inductees to our New London High School Alma Halverson chapter of National Honor Society at this time. As students are introduced, they will make their way up on stage, sign the official member book, receive a certificate, and light an individual candle symbolizing their new membership to NHS. Our president, Evan Kettinger, will introduce our inductees at this time.
Tonight, we will be welcoming 30 new members into this prestigious society. Elsie Abba. Wyatt Adamovich. Jenna Carpenter. Bridget Elliott. Shelby Glodowski. Jessica Flocker. Now, Shelby Glodowski. Anna Gorman. Carson Gregory. Mason Gulbranson. Anna Hoffman. Jack Hoover. Jack Kettinger. Allison Canespo. Grace Leone. Julia Luddick. Autumn Magowski. Wyatt Magowski. Adam McGlynn. Jensen Mix. Kenna Mix. Maddox Newman. Ian Oberstadt. Macy Rybrock. Jonah Schlieder. Carly Schramm. Rihanna Schultz. Isabella Sloma. Gabriel Wood. Also being inducted this year are Anna Roberts and Olivet Stein, who are unable to attend this evening but are joining us via live stream. Please turn on your candles. Current members, please stand. At this time, all current and new National Honor Society members will recite the pledge. Please read with us.
I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character.
You may now turn off your candles. I believe another round of applause is in order. Well done, everybody. This concludes New London High School's 61st Annual Induction Ceremony for the National Honor Society. Thank you to Mr. Chris Berberich for recording this ceremony and providing audio support. It will be available for viewing on our school's YouTube channel. Thank you in advance for contributing to our Veterans Care Package project. A sample care project package, along with the collection container, is on a table in the comments. We would like to invite all NHS members to join us for a group photo on the staircase in the Commons. Guests, please help yourselves to desserts while the picture is being taken. Enjoy the social, and good night, everybody.